KGFX is proud to bring you coverage of area high school sports. To hear this broadcast online, log on to drgnews.com. Now, with the pregame, here's Brian Oakland.
Well, thank you very much, and a very happy Saturday, everybody. Happy weekend and a day of high school basketball coming your way. Not one, but two basketball games, a girls and boys doubleheader as we get back into covering Stanley County basketball. It's been a while since we've seen these two teams on KGFX, the Lady Buffs and the Buffaloes out of the western prairie of Wall, South Dakota, where the Eagles will provide the opposition and the hospitality here as well. From the new Wall High School gym, Wall and Stanley County coming your way in coverage of high school basketball featuring the Stanley County Buffaloes and Lady Buffaloes, being made possible by McDonald's and First Dakota National Bank, Avera St. Mary's Hospital, and the Stanley County Booster Club. Coverage of the Buffaloes also sponsored by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Fisher Rounds and Associates, Insurance and Real Estate, Bottom Line Welding in Fort Pierre, and Bank West in Pierre. And our coverage of high school basketball and high school sports broadcasts on KGFX brought to you within the games by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the Boyd Gonzemius Agency of American Family Insurance, Teton River Traders Gun Shop, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, by Lynn's Dakota Mart, CHS Midwest Cooperatives, Bauman Lumber, and Wagner Auto in Pierre. The one place to go with BS coming, and the all-new 4-day BS that you want to look forward to from Wagner's in Pierre. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play. Primetime Paul will provide the technical direction back in studio as high school basketball coming up tonight. The girls' game will go first. Later on, the Stanley County Buffaloes getting into their first game in 2 weeks since they lost in one of the better games that they've played this season at Cheyenne Eagle Butte, an overtime loss in which Cheyenne Eagle Butte sank a three-pointer at the buzzer. But since then, 2 games have been wiped out due to the weather and postponed until a little bit later. So the Buffaloes itching to get back. They'll take on the Wall Eagles. Buffaloes 6-7 on the season. Wall just 4-11, but a familiar face coaches the Wall boys in former Stanley County girls coach Lex Heathershaw, who is back in his hometown. He's a boys basketball coach. He's an athletic director here, and I believe he might have been coaching some football this season as well. So that'll be the second half of our doubleheader. We'll start with the girls' game where the Wall Lady Eagles are off to a pretty good start, 11-5, although riding a 3-game losing streak against some pretty good teams from West River, and we'll talk about that in a bit. The Lady Buffaloes, of course, have had their struggles. They've had some improvements over the course of the season, but they kind of took another step back, unfortunately, in their last game out. A really good Miller team defeated them in Fort Pierre just Tuesday night, 75-18. And on Monday night, the Lady Buffaloes had the reschedule of their game with Todd County, and the Lady Falcons won that one 77-33. Wall, as we mentioned, 11-5, but they were 11-2. They've since lost 3 straight to White River, Kadoka, and Faith. Faith was unbeaten up until last night when they lost to Hettinger Scranton, North Dakota, as Faith defeated the Lady Eagles 69-50 in their last game on Tuesday up in Faith. This is the final home game for both Wall teams, so they'll have senior night festivities coming up this evening. They've got 5+ starters on both teams, so there will be a lot of representation in senior night festivities, so we'll have plenty to talk about there. We'll take an opening break, 2 minutes, and we'll be back to talk about this one with Keys to Success to begin our pregame show. Keys to Success will come your way thanks to the Boyd Gonzemius Agency in Pierre. Stanley County and a Wall, girls and boys doubleheader. Let's play 2. We're going to do that on 1060 KGFX, drgnews.com, and we do have the live stream up and running through YouTube and the 1060 KGFX channel.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Some banks proudly offer mortgage approvals in less than 8 minutes. 8 minutes for one of the largest purchases of your life. Doesn't leave much time for questions, does it? Think about it. Who really benefits from a speedy mortgage process? You or the lender? At First Dakota, we can't promise you an 8-minute mortgage, but we will promise you a thoughtful and transparent home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. Take all the time you need. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
Your cancer care should be as unique as you are. At Avera Breast Center, our team of experts create a treatment plan that will work best for your type of cancer, using the latest screening, radiation, and surgical techniques. You also have access to holistic approaches to help with side effects, and a 24/7 call center for answers to your cancer questions when you need them. Learn more at avera.org/breast or by calling 855-697-2592.
The Stanley County Booster Club was proud to have infused over $18,000 back into the district last year through the Wish List program. That money was raised through the operation of the concession stand. Wow, right? If you want to be part of a group that gives back in a big way, they meet the first Monday of each month, 6:30 p.m. at the Valley Tap in Fort Pierre, or they'd love your help working in the concession stand. It's easy. They use Sign Up Genius. Take a look. You can find a link and even more information on their Facebook page. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
Welcome back to Wall. Brian Oakland here. You just heard from the Stanley County Booster Club, and we should remind you that the Booster Club's annual chili and soup cook-off is coming up on Monday night. It was supposed to be Tuesday, January 29th, when Stanley County girls and boys entertained Todd County, but that was one of a couple of dates that got put on hold because of the weather, so they had to put the soup cook-off, the chili cook-off on hold as well. So that'll be this coming Monday night when the boys go at it with Stanley County hosting Todd County. Make sure you get to Parkview Gym Monday night. It'll be an 8 o'clock tip-off, but the chili cook-off will go on from 5:30 until 7:30 or so. So $5 will get you a bowl of chili. And I could be wrong. I think that's actually going to be a 7 o'clock kickoff Monday, tip-off when Stanley County goes against Todd County on Monday night at Parkview Gym. But the chili and soup cook-off for the Booster Club coming up this Monday night. Don't forget, as we get into high school sports on KGFX and on your way to and from the games, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety asks you to avoid a kiss with death and always plan a designated driver and buckle up every trip, every time. Reminders from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Once again, our live stream up and running, youtube.com with the KGFX 1060 channel. If you aren't a subscriber as of yet, just click subscriptions and search KGFX 1060 and subscribe, and you'll be able to see this game as well as hear both of our games tonight with our KGFX broadcast. Keys to success now as we talk about them and what both of these teams are going to have to do to try to become or find success. I think for the Lady Buffaloes, it's pretty cut and dry. You just have had a tough season, obviously, all season long, but they've shown some promise over the course of the season. You see the improvement, especially in just being able to put more points on the board. Case in point, against teams like Cheyenne Ingle Butte and a recent loss to Gregory. However, against Miller, the Lady Buffaloes just didn't have anything going their way as they only got 18 points on the board in a 75-18 loss to the Miller Lady Rustlers. 2-14 on the season for Stanley County, as they have now lost 6 games in a row. They'll try to get on the right track tonight, but it won't be any easier against a Wall squad that has, even though they're on a bit of a slide, but they're still a fine 11-5 over the course of the season so far. Lady Buffaloes just need to try to keep teams from scoring all the points that they have, as well as they have given up at least 70 points a game, or at least 75 points per game in the last 5 games that they have played. Crow Creek, Cheyenne Eagle Butte, Gregory, Todd County, Miller, all pretty good. Gregory's had their struggles this season, but the rest of them have had great seasons this year. So got to find a way just to play a little bit more defense and see if the Lady Buffaloes can catch a reeling Wall Lady Eagle team off guard, if at all, this evening. But to do that defense has to be a constant, and the offense just needs to try to be a little more patient, get the time and space, set good screens, and let your shooters get some opportunities to get the good shots that they want up, and maybe get some three-pointers to fall. And Stanley County needs to try to use that inside game as well. And usually that means Carly Leaf Green's got to have a big game if the Lady Buffaloes are going to have success. And again, from the outside, people like Cedar Scott, need to hit their shots. Taylor Stroop as well, and then also Jada Tibbs. Usually, I think is one of the keys on defense, especially out and about. That Jada's got that quickness that can get some transition opportunities. So we'll see if things like that can fall into place for the Lady Buffaloes when we look at keys to success. The keys for the Wall Eagles, though, if they're going to stop a 3-game skid, they just need to try to stay the course, I would think. Their final home game, so they want to perform well, obviously, for their seniors on senior night, who will all be starting in this game. A couple of them normally do not, but Wall's a team that has had won 11 of 13 to start the year. But they've had some pretty tough competition, and teams like White River and Stanley County knows how good that team is. Of course, Kadoka, the Lady Buffaloes have seen that squad this year. Faith was undefeated over the course of the season until a loss to an out-of-state team last night from North Dakota. And that Faith team obviously has some pretty good potential. John Hess, the head coach of Wall, did say that he was pretty pleased with the way they played against Faith, and that's the way he wants his girls to continue to play. If they can stay out of just some mental lapses for a few minutes each game, I think Wall can get take the opportunity and to take advantage of some things that might be given to them tonight in order to get back on track, as they have 3 games left after this one. All of them will be on the road, but again, getting on the right track to get some, kind of get the feel for how things are supposed to be done in the offenses that they run and things like that. I think that's what the Lady Eagles are going to do tonight. And as long as they play a patient ball game, then things should be coming up advantageous for the home team here tonight. Those are keys to success for the Lady Eagles in this one as they take on the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes. Our keys to success are brought to you by the Boyd Consemius Agency in Pierre and Phillip and American Family Insurance. We'll hear from them. We'll take a 60-second break, and we'll come back, give you the starting lineups. We'll still look at some upcoming action, and we'll tell you who officiates our ball games tonight as well. Coming up after a 1-minute timeout, this is Lady Buffalo basketball on KGFX.
Being a small farmer has never been tougher. Dan Wegmuller is a farmer and an American Family Insurance customer.
So it's good that American Family Insurance covers just what I need, because our dream is to become a century farm, a farm that's been in our family 100 years, and pass this life on to the next generation.
American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Contact the Boyd Consemius Agency, Inc. in Pierre and Phillip.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
This is Jameson from Oahe Federal Credit Union. Feeding South Dakota relies on people like you every day. People to take the time to think of those who may not know where their next meal will come from. This is why Oahe Federal Credit Union will be hosting a food drive that will benefit our local Feeding South Dakota food bank here in Pierre. Please drop off donated items at 221 East Pleasant Drive, Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Food drive will end February 28th, 2019.
Welcome back to Wall. Great facility they've got here since it opened 7, 8, something like that years ago. I don't know, it might be 10 years by now, but we've been out here a handful of times. It's a great place to watch some basketball and pretty good place to host some basketball if they get to the region level as well. Well lit and pretty good picture as well on our live stream that is available through our YouTube channel. Time now for the starting lineups in this one. Stanley County and Wall. The girls game first. The boys will be coming up in just a little bit. Our starting lineups come to us courtesy of Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre. And here are the Lady Buffalo starters that have been pretty consistent all season long. Taylor Stroop, the point guard. She's a freshman at 5'4", along with Cedar Scott, the shooting guard, a senior at 5'6". And then the defensive specialist, too, Jada Tibbs, a 5'2" junior. Up front, the forward will be Tatum Bush, a 5'8" junior, and Carly Leafgreen in the post. Leafgreen, the 6-footer, and the junior for the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes. As the Teton River Trader Gun Shop starters bring Stroop and Scott, Tibbs, Leafgreen, and Bush to the starting lineup for the Lady Buffs, and their head coach Adam Dannenbring in his second year running the show, along with Ryan Royer and Matthew Van Zee assisting. Teton River Traders, we'll hear from them in Fort Pierre, and we're back for the home team starters, the Wall Lady Eagles. Next, this is Stanley County Lady Buffalo basketball.
The key to a successful hunt.
begins at Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre. They carry a large variety of reloading equipment, cleaning supplies, and firearms accessories. They also sell and deliver Liberty gun safes. See Teton River Traders Gun Shop for all your gunsmithing needs, including custom-built firearms. Stop in today. Teton River Traders Gun Shop, located west of Highway 1434 in Fort Pierre.
Teton River Traders Gun Shop with the starting lineups for the home team tonight. They're going to go with all seniors tonight. It is senior night here in Wall, so that means Megan Patterson will start, a 5'8" guard, along with Cooper McLaughlin, a 5'9" guard. Forwards up front include J.C. Williams, a 6-footer, Jayton McKay, a 5'6" forward, and Mercedes Hess in the post, another 6-footer for the Wall Lady Eagles, with Patterson, McLaughlin, Williams, McKay, and Hess the starting five. Others who normally start include Cassidy Sawville, a 5'7" junior, and Samantha Deitcher, a 5'7" junior, a couple of backcourt players as well. For the 11-5 Wall Lady Eagles, their head coach is John Hess, assisted by Madison McLaughlin. Starting lineups from Teton River Traders Gun Shop in Fort Pierre. We have another starting lineup. The naming of tonight's game officials, we affectionately refer to them as the law on the court, as they are sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. 3 guys licensed by the South Dakota High School Activities Association to officiate high school basketball, and we appreciate them taking the steps and maybe doing sometimes what can be a thankless job. Our game officials tonight from Rapid City are Tim Slama, DeJuan Palmer, and Milo Schatz, our law on the court. Tim Slama, DeJuan Palmer, and Milo Schatz, tonight's game officials, sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. We'll hear from them momentarily, but as we await the Wall starters on the court, we'll remind you there is other basketball going on the Dakota Radio Group stations. In fact, Mobridge Pollock is in action on Star 99 right now up north. We'll have a KMLO 100.7 ball game coming up in just a little bit, but also on KPLO FM. We've got a doubleheader as Todd County is at Miller to take on the Rustlers. Darren Boyle with the call on that. We'll keep you updated on how things go with that doubleheader as we bring you Stanley County and Wall. It is the girls' game first, the boys' game coming up in just a little bit on senior night for the Eagles and the Lady Eagles. A 2-minute break, and we are back to tip it off. You're listening to high school basketball on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
It's your lucky day. Your name was drawn and you've won $7 million. All you need to do at this time is wire $2,000 to pay for taxes and registration of the sweepstakes. And we'll even find the closest wiring business to you. Sounds easy, doesn't it? This scam is victimizing residents across the state, with the scammer always coming back for more money. With cold weather, scammers know you're at home by your phone a lot more. If you suspect somebody has fallen victim to this scam, please contact the Attorney General's Office of Consumer Protection, 1-800-300-1986, or at consumerhelp@state.sd.us.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates, at your service, at your side, with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
If your checking account earns little or no interest and charges you ATM fees galore, isn't it time for a new checking account? At Bank West, E-Plus checking customers earn a great interest rate and never pay ATM fees. Can your current checking account do that? Switching to E-Plus is easy. Visit us online at bankwest-sd.bank or work with a friendly staff at one of our convenient locations. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Bottom Line Welding Service of Fort Pierre proudly sponsors this broadcast, wishing the Stanley County Buffaloes best of luck in sports and all of your activities. Bottom Line Welding offers on and off-site welding services, conveniently located at 1304 North Waldron in Fort Pierre. Contact Tim Hughes at 223-2063. That's 223-2063 for all of your welding needs. Go Buffaloes!
Welcome back to Wall with Primetime Paul back in studio. I'm Brian Oakland, ready to go. First look at the Buffs and the Lady Buffs in quite some time, as we're glad to have them back here on KGFX. Boys game coming up, but the girls game, of course, will go first. Our Lynn's Dakota Mart opening tip is up in the air, and Carly Leaf Green for the Lady Buffaloes out jumped by J.C. Williams, the senior for Wall. All five on the court to begin for Wall, who are moving from right to left as we catch up on the camera now. And they'll lean it inside. An attempt for Williams up no good. Leaf Green down with the rebound as Wall will come up empty on their first offensive attempt of the night. They didn't really honor. I think they'll honor the seniors in between. Here's Cedar Scott, first shot of the game up no good. A good look from the right corner, but it would not fall, and the Eagles are down with the rebound for Mercedes Hess. Cedar Scott loves to hit those threes, or at least attempt them, and has been hitting them in streaks over the course of the season. Here are the Eagles. Cooper McLaughlin with it right now, up to J.C. Williams. Now they'll swing it over to the right side, and Jayton McKay. Two of these five seniors do not normally start, but McLaughlin back to Hess. Shot clock's under 10, and a shot from J.C. Williams at the free throw line is up and good. Mercedes Hess with the assist, and the Lady Eagles will strike first. Wall in home white with the royal blue, gold trim. Stanley County in road purple, moving from left to right with the white numbers in gold trim as well. Taylor Stroop stops in the corner, will find Leaf Green, tries to get one off the glass, a little bit short from 6 feet out. And the rebound down to the Eagles once again across the timeline for Cooper McLaughlin. But the Lady Buffaloes, I think that's what they need to do, just try to keep getting inside looks. Maybe they can get some people into foul trouble, but Lady Buffaloes, when they score well, are getting to the free throw line and shooting for a good percentage as well. To the near side, now back up out on top, staying around the perimeter, a long three. Here attempted, and it's Cooper McLaughlin. Dead eye. From the top of the key on the right side, 5-0 Eagles beginning. We're 2 minutes in as Stroop speeds it across the timeline for Stanley County. Here's Tatum Bush. Baseline attempt, it's up, no good. Carly Leaf Green, the rebound, unable to hit the putback, and we are going to have a timeout early called by the Lady Eagles here with 5:48 to go in the first quarter. 5-0 Wall out to a good start, and we are back after this 30-second timeout on KGFX.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Back in Wall out of the timeout. I think part of the reason for the timeout was to give the seniors on senior night a good start, a good 2-minute start, but the regular starters are in now for the Lady Eagles, including Cassidy Sawvell, a 5'7 junior, also another 5'7 junior in Samantha Deitcher. But as they come in, Deitcher has to run down an errant pass, able to run it down on the far side. Sawvell back over to the near side. McLaughlin crosses over against Cedar Scott, takes it to the baseline, under 10 to shoot. On the move is Sawvell, and a nice drive in the lane. Gets one off the square, and the Eagles have the first 7 points of the night. Here's something the Lady Buffaloes facing, full court press, and they've had to continue to try to make improvements in breaking the press. Jada Tibbs gets it across here, but that's one thing that the Lady Buffaloes have been plagued by is the turnover totals. Much of the time, trouble getting it across the timeline. Scott no good from three-point range. Tatum Bush with the long offensive rebound, and then she is reached in upon and fouled. We got our first foul of the night. As Milo Schatz tells us, Cooper McLaughlin will reach in and pick up her first personal. Lady Buffs will line the lane on the left side. Stroop looking to get it in, will bounce it to Tatum Bush, and the Lady Buffs will set it up. 4:45 counting down first quarter, 7-0 Wall out in front with 3 field goals, including one from long range so far. Tibbs on the move, misfires with Bush, but Scott is there to pick up the loose pass. Scott has it back, 15 on the shot clock, and Cedar will hit her third attempt of the night. Lady Buffaloes on the board. On the assist from Taylor Stroop, 7-3, Wall. Here in the early going, down to the baseline. Hess tries to lob it back. J.C. Williams too far under the basket, up no good. Tibbs with the rebound, and she's looking to move. Runs into McLaughlin at half court. The ball got away, but Tibbs able to run it down. A little bit fortunate there for the Lady Buffaloes, who keep it alive. Now Stroop, back to Bush, open for three, and up off the back of the rim, no good. Bounces up to the top of the backboard, but it comes back down in play, and the Eagles have the rebound. Halfway through quarter number one, 7-0. Make that 7-3. Wall in front. To the high post. Good ball movement here without the benefit of the dribble. Williams will try from 12 feet out on the left side. That will not go. And here comes Taylor Stroop with the rebound. Lady Buffs to the far side. Bush has to collect the pass. Now back to Stroop to reset. 3:30 to go in the first. Stopping the dribble in the circle, the half circle, Stroop, and then she has her pocket picked by Cooper McLaughlin, who takes the first turnover away. A steal for the Eagles here. Skip pass to the near side. Williams on the baseline. Leaf Green will knock it out of bounds. And the Eagles will throw in after a couple of subs come in here. For Wall, it is Lily Wagner, a 5'10 sophomore, in place of J.C. Williams. And as Tatum Bush sits for the Lady Buffaloes, Jordan Sosa, a 5'9 freshman, will check in for the first time. 3:15 to go. Nice inbound pass. That is Deitcher hitting Mercedes Hess, and an easy bunny inside. Hess on the board with her first two. Here's Leaf Green trying to counter. Hess got a piece of it and then takes it away. Good effort there defensively for Mercedes Hess. Coach's kid. 2:50 to go. It's 9-3. Here in the first period. And the home team in front of the Lady Buffaloes. This is Deitcher. Nice pass inside. Found McLaughlin. Now down low to Hess and back out. Deitcher from a perimeter 2-point range. No good. Leaf Green battling, but McLaughlin takes it away, and Cooper McLaughlin will put it up and in for two. Her first two of the night. Second chance basket. Wall had the first four. Stanley County got a three-pointer. Or I should say the first seven. Then a three from Stanley County. Here's Stroop from 15 that will not go. McLaughlin collects the rebound once again, and the Eagles on a 4-point run right now looking for more. Coming down to the 2-minute mark of quarter number one. Wall up 11-3. Working it around. Wall really like their offense. They move the ball well. You don't need a lot of dribbling if you got a good passing game. Here's a three, up no good by McLaughlin this time. Taylor Stroop on the back end will take the rebound down. As we head the other direction, Lady Buffs from left to right, and a foul on the floor that'll go against Hess. As she stepped out and tried to challenge the dribble by Taylor Stroop. So Hess with her first personal, team foul number 2. And McLaughlin will check out. Tatum Bush will come in to give Carly Leaf Green a quick breather for the Lady Buffaloes. And looking to see who came in for Wall. It looks like number 10, Ava Dinger, a 5'9 freshman for the first time. So smaller lineup here for the Eagles as Hess will sit. Minute and a half to go in the first. Here is Sosa kicking out. Scott for three, has her second in a row. Nice look by Jordan Sosa to dish it out. On the kick out. 2 3-pointers all the Lady Buffaloes have on the board so far, though they trail 11-6. Wall on the offensive. Dinger tries one that comes up well short. Kept alive underneath, though, by Lily Wagner, and then back to Dinger for a second try. This one also will not go, and Sosa has the rebound. Stroop quickly across the timeline, got a screen, and then picks up the dribble on the wing. Back to Cedar Scott it goes. Sosa calling for the ball, didn't get it. Now Stroop will reset. Lady Buffaloes in the final minute. Here's a on the cut. It is Bush who is unable to collect the pass. Taken away by the Eagles. Second turnover for the Lady Buffaloes. So far not a bad number here in the first period. 30 seconds to go. About 6 seconds in between shot clock and game clock, though. So Wall will have to put something up here to close out the quarter. McLaughlin steps around on the good first step, but can't get the drive to fall. Scott with the rebound. And now Stanley County with an opportunity to close out the first quarter with some positivity here. 8-7, down to 6. Stroop, wild layup, but it'll go. She was well away from the basket, and that's how our first quarter will come to an end as the Lady Buffaloes hanging tough. The Wagner Auto scoreboard reads, it is Wall 11, Stanley County 8. Wagner Auto Company of Pierre, the one place to go with BS on the way. 60-second break, and quarter number 2 is next. You're listening to Stanley County Basketball on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Today, the average person spends more time researching their TV purchases than they spend researching their mortgage options. TVs are pretty complex, but have you ever tried to read a mortgage contract? Think about it. Shouldn't we be giving at least as much consideration to a 30-year loan as we do a 50-inch screen? At First Dakota, we believe that the more a home buyer knows, the better the home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. We love answering questions. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
Your cancer care should be as unique as you are. At Avera Breast Center, our team of experts create a treatment plan that will work best for your type of cancer, using the latest screening, radiation, and surgical techniques. You also have access to holistic approaches to help with side effects, and a 24/7 call center for answers to your cancer questions when you need them. Learn more at avera.org/breast or by calling 855-697-2592.
Welcome back to Wall. We'll go to quarter number 2, rather, as Stanley County scoring the last 5 points of the first period within 3 and with the basketball to start the second. It's 11-8. Lady Eagles leading the Lady Buffs. As the starting 5 back in there for Stanley County. Here's Leaf Green on the cut and a nice feed by Tatum Bush. Carly Leaf Green with her first basket of the night. And just like that, 7 in a row for Stanley County. We've got an 11-10 ball game for an 11-5 Wall team who has lost 3 in a row to really quite good competition. Here's a nice drive, and the basket will count. We've got a foul that'll be called as well. Lily Wagner goes to the free throw line to shoot and try to complete a 3-point play. And a foul will go against Tatum Bush, just reaching in right at the end. That's the first team foul for Stanley County. Free throw here for Wagner is good. First free throw attempt of the night for either team as well. And Wall gets a chance to set up in their full court here, 14-10 with the lead. Just underway in the second period. Cedar Scott will feed to Taylor Stroop. Good job in breaking the press. Stroop gets an extra pass underneath the bush. I think Taylor might have had an opportunity to put a shot up. She'll try a long one here and hit on the kick out from Jada Tibbs. Lady Buffaloes with 3 triples now, and they're back within 1 again at 14-13. 1 minute into quarter number 2. First of 2 in Wall tonight. Started playing this matchup here when Stanley County went back to Class B a little while ago. Here's a couple of opportunities for Wagner up no good. Good defense by Leaf Green. Rebound to Scott coming out of it. And Scott with it right now. Lady Buffaloes back with Stroop. Now up to Tibbs, looking for their first lead of the night. Leaf Green into the post, tries to go up with it against Hess. Hess has the good hands and a blocked shot. Leaf Green going after it, but Hess will lose it out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Lady Buffaloes, but only 10 seconds on the shot clock. So they'll have to get something quick up. Bush and Scott will check out for Stanley County. Jordan Sosa back in, and I believe was joined by Carly O'Connor, the 5'7" freshman, in for the first time. Here's Leaf Green taking the inbound. Hess going after the ball again, and Leaf Green will muscle it up and in, and Stanley County has their first lead of the night. 6:18 to go. Second quarter, it's 15-14. Lady Buffaloes playing well so far, executing the offense, shooting for a good percentage. The Eagles have just played a relaxed game to this point. And we have a traveling violation on a quick first step here by Deitcher. Eagles will turn it over for the first time tonight. 2 minutes into the second period. It's 15-14 Lady Buffaloes. Tibbs going to get trapped in the backcourt. Deitcher a little bit late. Stroop will get quickly across the timeline. Try the layup, and it's good. And Taylor Stroop beat everybody down the court. John Hess not too pleased, and he'll call the timeout. Second of the day for the Lady Eagles. This one of the full variety. 5:48 to go second period. Stanley County 17 and Wall 14 here in the Western Prairie. We'll take a 30-second break, and we're back with more Stanley County Lady Buffalo basketball on 1060 KGFX.
The Stanley County Booster Club was proud to have infused over $18,000 back into the district last year through the Wish List program. That money was raised through the operation of the concession stand. Wow, right? If you want to be part of a group that gives back in a big way, they meet the first Monday of each month, 6:30 p.m. at the Valley Tap in Fort Pierre, or they'd love your help working in the concession stand. It's easy. They use Sign Up Genius. Take a look. You can find a link and even more information on their Facebook page. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
Welcome back to Wall, South Dakota, as you listen to Stanley County Buffalo basketball on 1060 AM and 107.1 FM, KGFX, Pierre, Fort Pierre. Card-carrying members of the Dakota Radio Group. We are online at drgnews.com with a live stream up and running through youtube.com and the KGFX 1060 channel. Primetime Paul in studio. Brian Oakland here from the arena. And Stanley County's Lady Buffaloes with a 17-14 lead over Wall so far. Lady Buffs 2-14. The Eagles 11-5 as the play out of the timeout results in a steal at half court from Jada Tibbs, and the breakaway layup is up and good. So things continue to reel for the Eagles. Tibbs with her first basket of the night, and the lead grows to 5. Lady Buffalo's still hustling, knocking a pass out of bounds. I think Stanley County has woke up just a little bit off of just an 18-point effort against Miller the other night. They've already got 19 on the board here with still under about 5:20 to go in the first half of play. Lob underneath for Hess, thrown too far by Lily Wagner, taken away on the backside by Taylor Stroop. 3 turnovers here, I think, in 3 successive possessions. Tips, claps for it, takes the three-pointer up, no good. Underneath, Leaf Green will collect an offensive rebound. So a good job here by Stanley County, continuing the possession. This is O'Connor, out to Stroop. Another 3-ball. This one will not go, though. And Wagner has the rebound for the Eagles. So Stanley County comes up empty for the first time in a few possessions. There's J.C. Williams back in for Wall. Ava Dinger swings it over on the drive. Blocked shot by Leaf Green. Sosa had it, but the outlet taken back away by Dinger. And now her pass into Hess is tipped and knocked away. Good job by Sosa and Stroop and company once again. And Wall will turn over another one. 4:20 to go, second period. Stroop with a pickup of the dribble. O'Connor comes to take it away. Almost lost the dribble, but Tibbs gets the pass. And now O'Connor will fire a 3 and hit. Jada Tibbs with another assist. How about the Lady Buffaloes with an 8-point lead, 22-14, 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Wall a little snake bitten so far. Williams will scoop up and underneath. Got a little bit of the body of Carly Leaf Green to affect the shot. And Leaf Green with her first personal, just the team's second. Haven't had a lot of whistles yet. Both teams with just 2 team fouls. Williams will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair here. It was 11-8 at the end of 1 quarter of play. Wall with the lead, but Stanley County has a 14-3 advantage here in the second period. Williams is unable to hit the first of 2. Cassidy Sawvell is checked back in for the Eagles. Second free throw for Williams is in and out and back in again. There's a scoring run once again for the Lady Buffaloes. Actually, that scoring run ended up, it was 14-10. Wall with the lead, so the Lady Buffs had scored 12 unanswered points before that 1 out of 2 free throw trip by Williams ends that run. 22-15, Lady Buffs by 7. Cedar Scott is checked back in. Skips one across. O'Connor now Into Sosa, out to Scott, looking for three, no good. Sosa will run down an offensive rebound in a little bit of trouble in the corner, but gets it away. And how about a three this time? O'Connor cannot hit a second straight. Caught on the fly on the backside by Cooper McLaughlin. Lady Buffaloes need to continue to just get good shot attempts up. They've had the space on those 2 3-pointers, but off the mark on both of them. Here's McLaughlin for three, and that will score from the corner. Cooper McLaughlin with her second triple of the night, 22-18. All of a sudden, Wall with 4 in a row, and their 8-point deficit has been cut in half. Under 3 minutes we go, second period. Scott finds O'Connor. Back to Stroop to the high post. Here is Sosa left alone. Didn't square up, but puts it high off the glass and in for two. Jordan Sosa with her first basket. And the Lady Buffaloes back out to a 6-point advantage, 24-18. Leaf Green will get set to check back in. Here's Sawville. Back to McLaughlin. Short this time. Bush will collect the rebound. Nice long-armed reach here for Tatum Bush. McLaughlin was given a lot of space to shoot that time and thought she was going to hit that one too, but it was off to the right side. But I was thinking Cooper McLaughlin is one person you don't want to give a lot of space to shoot. Here is Bush for two from Carly O'Connor, and the Lady Buffaloes with a good job swinging things around. Back to an 8-point lead. Stanley County under 2 minutes to play. First quarter, 26-18. Looking good for the girls in purple so far here on a Saturday afternoon out in Wall. McLaughlin, gun shy this time, didn't pull the trigger. Here's a nice drive, though. Lily Wagner will score. Put it up and in with a right hand from the left side. Got a quick first step around the Lady Buff defense. And it's 26-20, Stanley County. 1:30 to play. Scott underneath Sosa, traveled with it. Good job defensively. Sosa was cutting down the right side of the lane. It was a nice feed, but Jordan didn't expect one defender for Wall, let alone two of them. So she ran into a bit of a brick wall and travels with it. Turnover number 3 for Stanley County. 26-20 left, or I should say the score, 1:20 to go in the second. Wall back with a nice zip pass underneath. It is Deitcher to Hess, and Mercedes Hess will put the bunny up and in from the right side. Tibbs quickly across the timeline. O'Connor thought about 3. Elects against it. Now Scott will give it back across the way to O'Connor. High post, Bush, dangerous pass. Does get it to Scott. 3-pointer up this time is no good. And Wagner with the rebound. 26-22. We're in the final minute of quarter number 2. Our CHS Midwest Cooperative halftime break coming up in just a little bit. And a good first half of the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes, but Wall's still right there with them. McLaughlin makes the fake and the move, leaves it with Hess. Set shot from the free throw line's up, no good. Taken away by Wagner. Scott blocks the return. And now J.C. Williams will run down the loose basketball. And a foul on the floor goes against Cedar Scott. Her first, the team's third. And Lily Wagner may have to check out of the basketball game. Cassidy Sawville will come in. 24 seconds to play here in the first half. Shot clock will be off. Wall to inbound off the left side of the key. As Deitcher finds McLaughlin, picks up the dribble and then out to Sawville. On the pass, Sawville puts it on the floor against Tatum Bush. Game clock down to 10 seconds here to close out the first half of play. McLaughlin gets a high screen. Back down to Deitcher on the drive, and a nice one at that. Can't get the layup, though. Leaf Green with the rebound and a foul called. Boy, that was a beautiful move by Samantha Deitcher, the 5'7" junior, but her layup off the glass just went in and out. Couldn't get it to go. Stanley County with the rebound, and Cooper McLaughlin with her second personal foul. So the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes only have 3 seconds to go the length of the floor. Stroop will get it inbound. Finds Bush. Long pass. It is taken away, but nothing, no time for anything to happen here for Deitcher. And on the Wagner Auto scoreboard, our first half of play is in the books. And how about the Lady Buffaloes leading Wall by the score of 26-22. Our scoreboard brought to you by Wagner Auto Company in Pierre, the one place to go. And BS just a couple of weeks away. Keep listening for more details. Wagner Auto in Pierre. How about a 2-minute break? CHS Midwest Cooperative sponsoring halftime. Stanley County leading Wall by 4. Going to intermission. You're listening to Stanley County Basketball on 1060 KGFX and drgnews.com.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Some banks proudly offer mortgage approvals in less than 8 minutes. 8 minutes for one of the largest purchases of your life. Doesn't leave much time for questions, does it? Think about it. Who really benefits from a speedy mortgage process? You or the lender? At First Dakota, we can't promise you an 8-minute mortgage, but we will promise you a thoughtful and transparent home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. Take all the time you need. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
Your cancer care should be as unique as you are. At Avera Breast Center, our team of experts create a treatment plan that will work best for your type of cancer, using the latest screening, radiation, and surgical techniques. You also have access to holistic approaches to help with side effects, and a 24/7 call center for answers to your cancer questions when you need them. Learn more at avera.org/breast or by calling 855-697-2592.
Did you know that CHS Midwest Cooperative Autumn Rewards provides qualified customers 0% interest and you don't have to give up any cash or volume discounts? That's right. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, we're working with you to provide lasting success. Customers receive full cash and volume discounts on industry-leading genetics, seed treatments, plus 0%. Your CHS Midwest Cooperative agronomist is ready to help you build a plan for success in 2019. Why wait? Contact CHS Midwest Cooperative today to learn more.
We're in Wall playing the first of two. The first game halfway through. Welcome to the CHS Midwest Cooperatives halftime break, sponsored by CHS Midwest Cooperatives in 7 cities throughout central South Dakota. There's basketball on KPLO-FM, a good one. And the girls' half of that doubleheader, Todd County at Miller, and the Lady Falcons lead Miller 27-23. They're at the half. That's a very similar score to what we have right here. Stanley County leading the Wall Lady Eagles 26-22. Maybe the best quarter of basketball that the Lady Buffs have played all season long. They scored 18 points on the strength of 8 of 13 shooting. They've hit 4 3-pointers in this first half. They outscored Wall 18-11 in that second period, and they have 7 players already in the scoring column. Lady Buffaloes hitting 50% at 11 of 22 overall, 4 for 12 from outside the arc. Taylor Stroop has 7 points to lead Stanley County. Cedar Scott has 2 3-pointers for 6 points. Carly Leafgreen next in line with 4. Carly O'Connor off the bench with a 3-pointer, and then 2 points apiece for Jada Tibbs off of a steal and a breakaway. Jordan Sosa with 2, and Tatum Bush with a 2-pointer down as well. 26 on the board for Stanley County, who only scored 18 points in their last ball game, a loss to Miller at home just 4 nights ago. For Wall on senior night, it hasn't gone as well as they had hoped, but probably looking to see how they can get things righted in that halftime conversation. But they have shot 9 out of 22 in the first half, 2 for 4 from outside the arc, 2 for 3. They've had the only free throw attempts of the night. Haven't had a lot of whistles here in this first game of 2. Cooper McLaughlin with a couple of threes and leads Wall with 8 points, leads all scorers, in fact, here in the first half. Lily Wagner has 5 points, Mercedes Hess with 4, J.C. Williams with 3, and Cassidy Sawvell with 2 as Wall trails Stanley County 26-22. Lady Buffs have a 13-11 rebounding advantage unofficially, 4-3. They have the advantage on the offensive end. Carly Leafgreen with 4 to lead the Lady Buffs. Cooper McLaughlin with 4 to lead Wall. Both teams turning it over just 4 times in the first half, and Stanley County has a 7-5 assist advantage as well as two players with 2 assists apiece in Taylor Stroop and Jada Tibbs. Wall with a 3-assist first half for Samantha Deitcher. 26-22, though, the Lady Buffs with the advantage. Surprising Wall here at the half, and our CHS halftime break will continue after a 60-second timeout. And we'll look at upcoming action, including game number 2, the boys' half of our doubleheader, coming up next on 1060 KGFX.
The Stanley County Booster Club was proud to have infused over $18,000 back into the district last year through the Wish List program. That money was raised through the operation of the concession stand. Wow, right? If you want to be part of a group that gives back in a big way, they meet the first Monday of each month, 6:30 p.m. at the Valley Tap in Fort Pierre, or they'd love your help working in the concession stand. It's easy. They use Sign Up Genius. Take a look. You can find a link and even more information on their Facebook page. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
It might be cold out, but don't let that stop you from thinking about a new toy. Owyhee Federal Credit Union is running a recreational loan special where you can finance a new or used boat, camper, motorcycle, snowmobile, or ATV. Rates as low as 3.34 APR, terms up to 10 years with no payments for 90 days. Special only applies to new purchases or refinancing from another financial institution. Stop in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre for all the details.
Welcome back to Wall as the Lady Buffaloes out of the halftime locker room break. Wall, as you might expect, getting probably a little more conversation and maybe gathering focus, but here they come back out as well as our CHS Midwest Cooperative's halftime break continues. I'm Brian Oakland as Stanley County again leading Wall 26-22. Lady Buffaloes looking for just their 3rd victory of the season. Wall trying to break a 3-game slide and looking for their 12th win in this, their 17th game of the season. Second half of the doubleheader comes up with the boys taking center stage in a little bit. Stanley County will play their first game in 2 weeks. They've had 2 games weathered out since against Todd County and White River, but the boys who might have played their best basketball game of the season at Cheyenne Eagle Butte 2 weeks ago today, just losing by an overtime buzzer-beating 3-pointer by the Braves. Otherwise, Stanley County would be over 500, but they are 6-7 coming into the night. Tonight, they'll take on the Walled Eagles, who broke a 5-game skid with a win over Phillip earlier this week. But the Eagles, led by former Stanley County girls coach Lex Heathershaw, are just 4-11 on the season. So both teams trying to get in as good a position as possible as we get closer and closer to region tournament action. Stanley County in Region 6A. Right now is in the middle of the pack of Region 6A. Wall toward the bottom of Region 7B standings, but region tournaments aren't too far away. Again, Stanley County, they're going to be busy to close out the season. They still have several games coming up. As the Lady Buffaloes looking ahead, they'll play Mobridge Pollock in Mobridge on Thursday of this week ahead. That'll be on Star 99, but not on KGFX. Lady Buffaloes go to Chamberlain on February 19th, the game that'll be on KPLO FM as they take on the Lady Cubs there, and then they'll finish with a team that actually is still unbeaten in the Winter Lady Warriors. That'll be on Thursday, February 21st. As for the Buffalo boys, we'll give you the rest of their schedule. We mentioned they play Todd County in that makeup game Monday night. That's when the Stanley County Booster Club Soup and Chili Cook-Off will be taking place. You can get in on that, a $5 bottomless bowl of chili on Monday night from 5:30 to 7:30 at Parkview Gym. Won't have coverage of that game Monday night against Todd County, but we are scheduled to cover the Buffalo game hosting Mobridge Pollock. Stanley County is going to play their next 5 boys games at Parkview Gym, including Mobridge Pollock on Tuesday, White River with the rescheduled game that will be on Thursday, and then a week from Monday they host Miller. That'll be on KPLO. They host Winter later that next week, and then finish at Kadoka on Friday night, February 22nd, as the Buffaloes have a busy stretch still to come. We're ready to go to the second half as the seconds are ticking away, ending our CHS Midwest Cooperative's halftime break. So the boys' game will be coming up in just a little bit. Stay tuned for that. Once again, Todd County and Miller are on KPLO FM. Todd County with a 4-point lead going to the second half in the girls' game there. Lady Buffaloes coming out with Jada Tibbs, Carly Leafgreen, Cedar Scott, Taylor Stroop, Tatum Bush, the starting five. Wall will counter with their normal starting five: Samantha Deitcher, Lily Wagner, Mercedes Hess, Cooper McLaughlin, and J.C. Williams. Senior night here in Wall. We'll see if Wall can get things righted as we've switched directions, and the Lady Eagles in white. Entry pass from Williams to the cutter. Hess misses once, but on the backside, Williams sneaks in there and gets the offensive rebound and the putback for two. Cutting the deficit to two, and a good start for Wall here in the second half. I think that's what they needed to get something going right away on their first possession. We'll see if the Lady Buffaloes can counter. Right to left to the girls in purple tonight. Penetration and a kick out by Tibbs. Tipped pass. Run down by Stroop. She gets around a couple of defenders, and we have a 3-second violation, I believe, on Leaf Green. So Stanley County will turn it over on their first possession in quarter number 3. Lady Buffs with an 18-point outburst in that second period, though, to take a 4-point halftime lead. Here's Williams underneath, lobbing to Hess, and another nice pass. This one's up and good, and we are tied with Wall scoring the first 4 of the second half. 26-26. Stroop across the timeline, given a chance to set up the offense. Wall, who pressed most of the first half, has backed off. Here's Tibbs for 3 from Cedar Scott, though. Jada Tibbs with her first bomb of the night. Interesting, though, you look back, the Lady Buffaloes only turned the ball over 4 times in the first half. That is a beautiful number. I'm sure Adam Dannenbring just tickled pink about that. But as the Lady Buffs broke the press, their offense got going in that second period. Here's a miss for Williams on the baseline. Nice keep alive by Lily Wagner, who is fouled on the way back up. Lady Buffs a little late in getting to the rebound, and a couple of free throws coming here for Wagner on her first whistle of the second half. Tatum Bush will be called for her second personal foul. Nobody in foul trouble, although Cooper McLaughlin, like Tatum Bush, with 2 fouls personally. Wagner's first of 2 will not fall. So she'll try another one. Stanley County by 3, 29-26, and now by 2 as the second free throw is good. 6:15 to go. Third period, 29-27, Lady Buffaloes. Stroop will set it up. But again, as the Lady Buffs were able to beat pressure, and I think that led to some pretty good offensive production. Good shooting percentage. Here's a long 3 off the mark by Bush from the top of the key. And the Eagles are down with a rebound. Deitcher will take it across the timeline. McLaughlin. Awkward footwork, but the layup gets up. It's no good. Williams has the rebound, and keeping it alive are the Eagles, who are doing a better job. Already 3 offensive rebounds here out of 4 total in the second half. But they still trail by 2. 5.5 to go. Deitcher to the near side. On the move will go Williams. Back to Hess. Patient. Still 15 on the shot clock. Hess is open from 10 feet out, and the kiss off the glass. I love it. Mercedes Hess for 2. Everybody thinks they got to swish him anymore these days. When you see a shooter use the backboard from the angle from outside the lane, you got to give him props. Hess has 8 so far. Here's Bush looking to return, but comes up a little bit short. Might have rushed that one just a bit. McLaughlin down with it. Wall has a chance to take their first lead in a while. They led 14-10 in the second period, but Stanley County went on a 12-0 run to take the lead, and they haven't trailed since. Here's McLaughlin for 3. In and out. No good as the Eagles try to keep it alive, and it'll be off of Wall. Williams the last to touch. McLaughlin was right on line, but that one rimmed in and out. No good. Lady Buffaloes dodged the bullet. Tatum Bush will check out. Jordan Sosa in for Stanley County, the first substitution of the second half here. 4:40 and counting now in the third period as Wall backs off into the half court once again. Screen and roll doesn't work. Stroop will hand off to Scott. Now over to Tibbs to the near side. Jada on the move. Runs into a wall, though. Kicks it back out. Leaf Green to Stroop. Far side. Haley on the drive. The floater is up, though. No good. And Wagner has the rebound for the Eagles. And Stanley County has hit just one field goal so far here in the second half. That was a three-pointer by Jada Tibbs. Williams. Bounce pass underneath, and Leaf Green got a hand in there and knocked it off of the foot of Mercedes Hess, and it'll go out of bounds. So Leaf Green inducing the turnover here. And the Lady Buffs will get it back once again. Halfway through quarter number 3, and a good ball game here, the first of 2. This is Stroop to the high post. Leaf Green directing traffic back to Stroop. Tibbs open for 3 in the corner, but had to push that one up a little too quick. Wagner with another rebound, and Wall ready to move again. Still 29-29 in a tie game. Stanley County led by 4, 26-22 at intermission. Here's Hess back to Williams. She'll push it out. Wall back around, still with her starting 5 in there to start the second half. Tibbs will take the dribble away from McLaughlin. Now heading the other direction. McLaughlin gets back in there and gets a nice block shot. Good play for Jada Tibbs to get the steal, but McLaughlin didn't give up on it. And Wall back the other way with the basketball. On the move, McLaughlin as Tibbs over pursued on the pass. McLaughlin fouled underneath by Stroop. She doesn't get the layup, but she will get 2 freebies. And a chance to give the Lady Eagles their first lead since early in the second period. Taylor Stroop's first personal foul is whistled. Team number 2 for the Lady Buffaloes. Here in the second half, just under 3 minutes to go. First free throw off the back iron, no good by McLaughlin. First Eagles subs are in. Actually, just one of them. Cassidy Sawvell is in for Lily Wagner. 5'7" junior. Sawvell, McLaughlin. Second free throw is off the back of the rim, but it bounces up and then comes back home. And Wall has taken the lead. 30-29 here. Still plenty of time to go. 2:50 left in the third period. Stroop and Tibbs will play some catch. Now over to Scott on the wing inside Leaf Green. Nice job to get it out of there. Tibbs fires a 3, and that's no good. Leaf Green up high, but it's tipped away into the hands of Sawvell for the rebound. Tibbs hit that one off the back of the rim. Lady Buffaloes are right now just seemingly content to try to get the 3-pointers to go. Leaf Green called for a foul here. Under the basket, McLaughlin will head back to the stripe to shoot 2. Carly Leaf Green picks up her second personal. Lady Buffs with 3 team fouls here in the second half so far. Wall with a goose egg in that department. McLaughlin's free throw, the first of 2 this time, is good. She's got 2 in a row. And Cooper with 10 points to lead the Eagles now. First player in double figures. Bush, Tatum Bush and Carly O'Connor are in. Jordan Sosa and Cedar Scott will catch a break. 2:24 left in the third. McLaughlin's second one is good. 32-29, Wall. So far with a 10-3 advantage here in the third period after the Lady Buffaloes led by 4 at the break. O'Connor to Stroop. They'll swing it around through Bush back to the left wing. And they'll try the other way from Jada Tibbs. Out top, Stroop. Inside, Leaf Green. Nowhere to go. Every time Carly Leaf Green gets a touch inside, Wall comes and doubles or even triple teams her, and it's making things a little bit difficult for the inside game. Leaf Green will try the right side turnaround. Good attempt. A little bit short, but she'll go to the free throw line. Hess got her on the wrist, and Mercedes Hess will pick up personal foul number 2. Team foul number 1, though, in the second half of the home team with 1:55 to go. We're in the third quarter. Todd County leading Miller by quite a, actually they opened it up in the third quarter in the Miller Armory, 48-31 in the girls' half of a doubleheader on KPLO. Carly Leaf Green's first of 2 free throws are up and in. She'll get another one as Mercedes Hess checks out. J.C. Williams back in here as Cedar Scott in place of Jada Tibbs. And Leaf Green will get another attempt here from Freebie Land. These are the first free throw attempts of the night for Stanley County. The second one is good. Carly with 6, 32-31. Wall by the slimmest of margins here in their final home game. They've got 3 games still to come, but they're all going to be on the road. Here's a hip check called by Bush as J.C. Williams tried to get around her. Tatum Bush will pick up her third, and she'll promptly check out. Jordan Sosa, the freshman, back in for the Lady Buffs. 1:47 on the clock. John Hess will make another quick sub as well. Williams out, and Lily Wagner back in. Inbounding is Samantha Deitcher. She'll find Sawville back up on the top of the key. Ava Dinger is checked in as well for the Eagles. Had it momentarily. Up top to Deitcher, back to the left side. Wagner looking to go around Sosa. Nowhere to go there. Good job to close it off. Dinger is open for 3 this time, and she hits. Ava Dinger with a nice look. And it's 35-31 Wall. They had an 11-3 lead at one point in the first quarter, but this is their biggest lead since they led 14-10 early in the second. Here's Leaf Green into Sosa, and Carly came back to get it as Sosa got double-teamed, but Sosa thought she was still back on the outside, and the pass gets away, and it goes out of bounds. Just the second turnover of the second half, 6 in the game for the Lady Buffaloes, as the clock starts up from the 1:10 mark on the inbound. 35-31 Eagles. Another thing about this Wall gym, it looks like they've got a full-length 94-foot floor. Here's another 3 for Ava Dinger. 2 in a row for the Eagles. Suddenly they've got a 7-point lead. They trailed by 4 at the half. Ava Dinger swinging this game in Wall's momentum favor now. The Lady Buffaloes could really use something positive on this offensive possession. This is Stroop. Around the defenders up top, inside Leaf Green, dribbled off the foot and lost. Turnover to Wall and a foul on the floor. That'll be a reach in for Cedar Scott. Cedar will pick up her second personal. Key for the Lady Buffaloes right now is Jada Tibbs will check in for Taylor Stroop. Try not to let this game get away from you. They played so well. One of their better games of the season, but as the inbound comes, Wall does a nice job. Dinger finishes, actually feeds to Cooper McLaughlin for the finish on the left side, and Wall has their biggest lead of the night late in the third period, 40-31. It's O'Connor for 3 on line, but off the front of the rim, dancing across, trying to keep it alive underneath as Jordan Sosa will have a jump ball, and Stanley County will get to keep it. Nice job by Sosa on the hustle play. And incoming is, well, McLaughlin will get a break to close out the quarter. Cassidy Sawville back in. Actually, it's number 2 in. I think I've said number 3. Sawville is number 2. It's Megan Patterson, who I have neglected all night long. Here's a 3 at the buzzer, but O'Connor a little bit short. And a tough third period for the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes comes to an end. And on the Wagner Auto scoreboard, Wall has taken control. Still anybody's ball game, but the Eagles do lead 40-31. Scoreboard from Wagner Auto Company and Pier, the one place to go. BS is on the way. Let's take a 30-second break in between quarters. We're back with more Stanley County basketball. You're listening on KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Each South Dakota farmer operates differently, and that means that ag insurance should be as unique as every farmer in the field. Fisher Rounds & Associates gets to know you and your operation before we find a policy. That way, we can make sure you have the coverage you need. Contact Fisher Rounds & Associates and see what it means to have us at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, serving South Dakota farmers with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Well, if you go back to the second quarter, Stanley County outscored a Wall 18-11, an 18-point output, but Wall scores 18 of their own in the third period. They were trailing 26-22 at the half, and they outscore the Lady Buffaloes 18-5 in the third as we go to quarter number 4. Back in Wall. Glad to have you with us. Brian Oakland giving you 2 games tonight. The boys will be coming up. Stanley County Buffaloes will play their first game in 2 full weeks when they take on the Eagles later on. Wall's Lady Eagles have the ball to start our fourth quarter of play. Jada Tibbs will take a steal away, looking for a breakaway, and she has her second of the night. Jada Tibbs with a much-needed defensive play turned into points here by the Lady Buffaloes. Wall had some good momentum going at the end of that third period. Stanley County, against the quality of opponent that they're against tonight, probably playing, I think all things considered, one of their best games of the year, but Cooper McLaughlin will fire and hit her third three-pointer of the night. Wall will lead by 10, 43-33. It's interesting as Wall has sagged back into the half court for the most part and has not pressed here in this second half. That is when they have done a better job defensively in keeping the Lady Buffaloes off the scoreboard. J.C. Williams gets a steal, intercepting a pass on the top of the key. 6:45 to play. Wall looking to add to their already double-digit lead. Williams in the corner, back to Samantha Deitcher. Finds Hess inside across the lane. Now Lily Wagner had to put it on the floor, but she'll put it up and in. And Wall looking more like the team that was 11-2 at one point before dropping their last 3 ball games. 45-33 and into a timeout. Taylor Stroop will dribble, called by Adam Dannenbring with 6:23 to play. First timeout of the game here for the Lady Buffs. We'll take it with them. We're back in 30 seconds. It's 45-33. Wall by a dozen on KGFX.
If your checking account earns little or no interest and charges you ATM fees galore, isn't it time for a new checking account? At Bank West, E-Plus checking customers earn a great interest rate and never pay ATM fees. Can your current checking account do that? Switching to E-Plus is easy. Visit us online at bankwest-sd.bank or work with a friendly staff at one of our convenient locations. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
It's another interesting point right here because we come out of the timeout. Interesting thing about the way the Lady Buffs have played, that's just the first timeout they have had to call tonight. They have played extremely well, given the way things have gone most of this season. Here is Tibbs, who misses on a wild layup from the left side, but Leaf Green had position for the rebound, is fouled over the back. And Wall will pick up their second team foul, but Cooper McLaughlin with her third personal. Wall has 5 fouls as a team this entire game. McLaughlin has 3 rather, and Mercedes Hess with 2. Stroop needs to get it in quick. We'll find Cedar Scott on the wing, back to Stroop, and McLaughlin's going to reach for it and pick up her 4th. So Cooper McLaughlin, who has 16 points in this basketball game, has to check out, and that could be big for the Lady Buffaloes if they want to get back into this one. At least getting the biggest offensive threat by the Eagles out of the ball game. A corner inbound here for Taylor Stroop to our left. Finds Stroop inside, or rather Leaf Green up and in for 2, and a foul is called. And a chance at a three-point play the old-fashioned way. Stanley County certainly not going away here. This is Hess with her 3rd now. Team foul number 4 for the Eagles in the second half. We're just outside of 6 minutes to go. Leaf Green to shoot 1. It's good. She's 3 for 3 from the line. Carly with 9 to lead the Lady Buffaloes. That's the deficit now as well, 45-36. Wall in front. Eagles will set things up. Deitcher to J.C. Williams on the wing. Ava Dinger is checked in for McLaughlin, out with 4 fouls. Hess wants a three-pointer online, but comes back off the back of the rim. Stroop with the rebound. She'll slow it up a little bit. Hess showing that she has the range there. Not just an inside player. And we've got a foul on the Eagles once again here as Tim Slama will tell us. It is Hess with her 4th. So again, only 2 players for Wall have committed fouls in this game. Hess will check out. McLaughlin's coming back in. Those are the 2 players that have 4 fouls apiece. But John Hess feels one of them should be on the floor in this situation. A 9-point Wall lead, but Stanley County with the inbound. And they're going to take it back at it. But Lily Wagner with some good straight-up defense. Leaf Green unable to keep it away from the hands of the defender. Shot blocked, and Wall will take it away. Here's McLaughlin with a quick-fire 3, and it's good. Cooper McLaughlin, 4 threes on the night, really starting to become the biggest factor in the game, and Wall's come from behind effort here. Stroop just traveled with it. Pivoted on the wrong foot in the half circle. Tried to bounce a pass underneath, and another timeout coming to the Lady Buffaloes here. 5 minutes and 8 seconds to play in the ball game. Still a good one brewing. 48-36, Wall by 12, and back in 30 seconds, you're listening to Lady Buffalo basketball.
Bottom Line Welding Service of Fort Pierre proudly sponsors this broadcast, wishing the Stanley County Buffaloes best of luck in sports and all of your activities. Bottom Line Welding offers on and off-site welding services conveniently located at 1304 North Waldron in Fort Pierre. Contact Tim Hughes at 223-2063. That's 223-2063 for all of your welding needs. Go Buffaloes!
Welcome back to Wall. The Eagles with the basketball and a 12-point lead. A little pressure here being applied by Stanley County as they'll try to create some turnovers. The Eagles get it across the timeline, though, and they'll set it up with under 5 minutes to go. But so much for a time-consuming possession. An NBA range three-pointer for Cooper McLaughlin, who has the hot hand going. That is her 5th three-pointer of the night. And she now has 22 points to lead all scorers. It's 51-36. Wall suddenly by 15. Stroop with a bad pass at the feet of Leaf Green. It's picked up by Jada Tibbs, who's looking to drive. She'll have it knocked away out of bounds. Bit of a break here for the Lady Buffaloes, but they'll throw in with 13 on the shot clock. Mercedes Hess will check back in for Lily Wagner. Samantha Deitcher is out, and Megan Patterson, the 5'8 senior, back in. And again, Patterson has played some significant minutes in this game, but I was calling her the wrong name for a while. There's a nice turnaround shot up and in for Leaf Green off the glass. Fed by Tibbs, I believe it was. 51-38, still a 13-point deficit here for the Lady Buffaloes. They need some defensive stops. Hess down on the block, fed by Williams, is up and good. Mercedes Hess with 4 personals, but playing well with 11. Well, they've got her with 10 on the board, but I've got her hitting a free throw tonight as well. And we've got another timeout. That'll be called by Stanley County. They've got plenty to use. Coach Dannenbring will take a full one here with 3:57 left to play. 15-point Eagle lead, 53-38. We'll take 30 with them. You're listening to high school basketball. Stanley County and Wall with another game to go after this one comes to an end on 1060 KGFX and DRGnews.com.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Well, it's been a well-played basketball game for the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes. Just 2-14 on the season. Only 18 points scored in their last game out on Tuesday night against Miller. Here they've got twice that, but Wall has had a big second half, and they lead 53-38. Lady Buffs led 26-22 at intermission. 3:45 counting down. Welcome back to Wall. Lady Buffs work it around. Leaf Green with another shot up and in off the glass. That's kind of getting to be a patented move here for Carly Leaf Green, who's got 13 points now, 2 in a row on that turnaround shot. Here is Hess going up against Tatum Bush. Tatum thought she was straight up. She might have had a pretty good point there, but Hess initiates the contact and will go to the free throw line. Hess with 10 points. Tatum Bush with her 4th personal foul, the first player for Stanley County in legitimate foul trouble. And Mercedes hits the first one with another one to come. I wonder if I didn't put her 1 for 2 free throws that I have on the wrong line. It might have been for Lily Wagner. As it is, Leaf Green down with a rebound, the miss of the second free throw. Stanley County with it back, but trailing by 14. Bush takes the skip pass, tries to feed into Leaf Green. Dangerous pass. We've got a jump ball, and the arrow still belongs to Stanley County here. 3:18 on our 4th quarter clock. 54-40 the score. Seems to me the last time we came out here with Stanley County and Wall, the Lady Buffaloes played well in the first half, but a better Wall team. And Bush will throw it out of bounds. Had some struggles getting it in play. Stroop just could not get open. Now remember, the Lady Buffaloes played well in the first half, but Wall figured some things out and came out on the winning end that night as well. I think that was 2 weeks ago. Here's a travel, though, for Ava Dinger as Stanley County interrupted the play. Turnover number 8 for the Eagles. Lady Buffs with only 10 tonight, but for a team that averages most likely over 20 turnovers a ball game, that's just another good sign of how well the Lady Buffs have played. Talk about a team that has had some improvements over the course of the season. Tibbs splits defenders and a beautiful pass back to Carly Leaf Green, up and in for 2. Jada Tibbs sliced through a couple of defenders, got underneath the basket, and had a little backhand bounce pass right back to a wide open Carly Leaf Green, up and in for 2. On the move is Patterson. Misses once, misses twice, got her own rebound, but now the Lady Buffs out of there with it, looking to move. Tibbs to Leaf Green, in and out, no good. Carly fighting for the rebound. It won't happen, though, as J.C. Williams will take it away. Boy, Stanley County's fans would have probably gone nuts had that transition basket actually occurred. Good effort here by both teams tonight. Eagles with it. This is Dinger on the wing in the corner. Outside Patterson. McLaughlin's going to fire another one, but this one off the front of the rim. Hess has the rebound, and she will put it back up and in. And the offensive second chance basket for Wall, who still leads by 14 with 2 minutes to go. 56-42. Here is Cedar Scott. Leaf Green tries another one, and that one is up and in. No doubt about what the Lady Buffaloes are trying to do. The thing about it, go inside to Carly Leaf Green. Maybe you can get one of those bigger players for Wall. Mercedes has Cooper McLaughlin to foul out of this game. Stanley County with a basket. Leaf Green's got a big second half going, in particular the 4th quarter. She has 17 points, 11 of which have come here in the 4th quarter. But on the clock with 1:47 to go, it's Wall 56 and Stanley County 44. The Lady Buffaloes have called their 4th timeout of the game. They'll be left with one more, as we'll just keep it here. And remind you once again, we do have the boys' half of the doubleheader coming up. The 6 and 7 Stanley County Buffaloes, who all 7 losses, 6 of their 7 losses, I should say, have come by 8 points or less. Looking to get back on the winning track, playing their first game in 2 weeks when they take on the Wall Eagles. And former Stanley County coach Lex Heathershaw. That'll be the second half of the doubleheader. The Eagles are 4-11 on the season so far. So stay with us. Some more basketball still to come after we finish off what's been a pretty good girls basketball game here. And again, for a Lady basketball squad that has struggled in a lot of ways all season long, playing what might be their best basketball game of the season. 56-44, Jordan Sosa is in. Cooper McLaughlin throws long. We'll find J.C. Williams one-on-one against Cedar Scott. Cedar will stop the clock with a foul, but Williams will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair with 1:45 left in regulation. Team foul number 7 for the Lady Buffaloes, but this one in the act of shooting. Cedar Scott with her 3rd personal, and J.C. Williams to the stripe. The first one up and good. She'll get another. Williams with 6 points on the night. 57-44. Much of this fourth quarter for Wall has been in that 14 or 15 point lead range, and that's where it is right now. Back to 14, 58-44. Stroop picked up her dribble, lost it on a tip by Patterson, and then Taylor picks it up and puts the runner up and in. Smart play and a good heads-up play by Taylor Stroop. Down to 90 seconds to go. Pressure by the Lady Buffaloes, but they've got to get back quick. Now Patterson feeds the extra pass. Sawville will eat some clock now. She could have put an easy layup up and in, but I like the choice here. 58-46. Patterson back to McLaughlin. Fakes the three, now across the way. Williams inside, and Hess will put it up and in. And a timeout will be called by the Eagles here with 1:05 left to play in our ball game. Wall 60, Stanley County 46. Let's take a 30-second break. We're back with more high school girls basketball on KGFX.
Today, the average person spends more time researching their TV purchases than they spend researching their mortgage options. TVs are pretty complex, but have you ever tried to read a mortgage contract? Think about it. Shouldn't we be giving at least as much consideration to a 30-year loan as we do a 50-inch screen? At First Dakota, we believe that the more a home buyer knows, the better the home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. We love answering questions. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
John Hess called a full timeout, not really using it all. He just maybe wanted to reset his defense here for the last 65 seconds. Stanley County uses more of the timeout period. Welcome back, 60-46. A good ball game that saw Stanley County leading 26-22 at the half, but a big second half here for the home team on senior night. As they lead by 14, the Lady Buffaloes keep trying to work it inside to Carly Leafgreen, who continues to have a huge second half in the fourth quarter in particular, but the Eagles will knock it out of bounds. Cooper McLaughlin gets a nice hand checking out. Cassidy Sawville, the 5'7 junior, back in. Stanley County inbounds. Leafgreen gave it away, got it right back, and then back out to Taylor Stroop, who fired a three, but that comes up well shy of everything. Now Wall has to work it up across the timeline. Hess will be fouled, but not very severely here by Leafgreen, but that will stop the clock and put Wall to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Hess with 15 in the ball game. Leafgreen picks up her third personal. This is team foul number 8 for Stanley County, and Adam Dannenbring is going to empty the bench here. J.C. Williams on senior night checking out of her final home game. 5-for-5 swap for the Lady Buffaloes. As Jordan Sosa is back in. Kylie Heesen is in. Liz Duffy. Shaylee Topol. Has to shoot a 1-and-1 here. The front end is up, no good. Got the Wall with the rebound. Hess will end up getting it back. A miss for 22, who I don't have on the board, but Mercedes Hess with that second offensive rebound. And for the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes, Al Holly was setting up the offense, 5'3" freshman. This is Topol, who gets tied up by Hess, and Wall will get a takeaway here. They own the possession arrow. 22 seconds left in this ball game, and Mercedes Hess will check out of her final home ball game as well. There's Hess and Lily Wagner with a nice little embrace. Lily's going to be one of the featured members of the team in the future here for the Eagles. They lead 62-46. Wall will improve to 12-5 on the season, breaking a 3-game skid here against a very good effort by the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes, who will fall to 2-15. Here's a pass in the lane. Sawville with it, and they'll run the clock out 3-2-1. And here's your final horn on the Wagner Auto scoreboard. Your final score in the girls' half of the doubleheader. It's Wall 62, Stanley County 46. Wagner Auto Company of Pierre with BS on the way. They are the one place to go. And we'll pause for 2 minutes, come back, give you the recap, announce our Bauman Lumber player of the game, and then we get you set up for the boys' half of the doubleheader still to come with Stanley County and Wall out here on the Western Prairie. 2-minute timeout, and we're back with the post game. This is Stanley County Basketball, 1060 KGFX and drgnews.com.
Your cancer care should be as unique as you are. At Avera Breast Center, our team of experts create a treatment plan that will work best for your type of cancer, using the latest screening, radiation, and surgical techniques. You also have access to holistic approaches to help with side effects, and a 24/7 call center for answers to your cancer questions when you need them. Learn more at avera.org/breast or by calling 855-697-2592.
The Stanley County Booster Club was proud to have infused over $18,000 back into the district last year through the Wish List program. That money was raised through the operation of the concession stand. Wow, right? If you want to be part of a group that gives back in a big way, they meet the first Monday of each month, 6:30 p.m. at the Valley Tap in Fort Pierre, or they'd love your help working in the concession stand. It's easy. They use Sign Up Genius. Take a look. You can find a link and even more information on their Facebook page. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Some banks proudly offer mortgage approvals in less than 8 minutes. 8 minutes for one of the largest purchases of your life. Doesn't leave much time for questions, does it? Think about it. Who really benefits from a speedy mortgage process? You or the lender? At First Dakota, we can't promise you an 8-minute mortgage, but we will promise you a thoughtful and transparent home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. Take all the time you need. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
Welcome back to Wall, and a good second half for the Lady Eagles, who trailed 26-22 at the half, but they came out and outscored Stanley County 18-5 in a decisive third quarter. They took a 9-point lead to the fourth, leading 40-31, and then they continue to pour it on with 22 more against the Lady Buffalo squad, who played another good fourth quarter, scoring 15 themselves, but a 22-15 advantage gives Wall a kind of a decisive margin of victory, but a 16-point margin, certainly not quite indicative of how good of a ball game the Stanley County Lady Buffaloes played in this one. On the court, if you're watching the live stream, you're seeing senior night festivities for both the girls and the boys. The Lady Eagles have 5 seniors. The boys, who we'll see in just a little bit, have 6, but playing their final home games tonight for the Lady Eagles: Megan Patterson, Cooper McLaughlin, J.C. Williams, Jayton McKay, and Mercedes Hess. The Eagle boys being honored tonight are Jack Ermish, Jace O'Rourke, Jacob Bielmeyer, Braden McDonald, and Cash Wilson, and Wynn Schock. And we'll talk about them coming up in just a bit as well. But congratulations to the seniors, who, not only on the basketball court, but especially for this Wall boys athletic program, one of the better West River football teams that continues to perform year in and year out. And a lot of these young men on the floor who are just leaving right now and getting ready for basketball have a lot to do with that as well. Again, 62-46 in the girls' half of the doubleheader here, as the Lady Buffaloes hit 19 of 40 on the floor tonight, 8 of 18 in the second half. They'll go 5 of 17 from long range. Only 3 free throw attempts. Carly Leafgreen made them all. And Leafgreen leads the Lady Buffs with 17 points. 11 points in the fourth quarter, as Stanley County did a nice job of that inside game. And, you think about that and wonder if it works that well throughout the game. You could try to get more going, but Stanley County played just an outstanding basketball game, all things considered. And you see the improvements of the team from game 1 to now game 17 as it is here. But Leafgreen again with 17 points. Taylor Stroop will score 9 points tonight, 7 of those in the first half. Jada Tibbs ends up with 7 points. Cedar Scott hit a couple of first quarter threes but didn't score anymore. She'll finish with 6. Carly O'Connor had a 3-pointer off the bench. Jordan Sosa with 2. Tatum Bush with 2 points for the Lady Buffs and 46 on the board. For the Eagles, who went from 9 of 22 in the first half, 14 of 23. They shot extremely well in the second half. 23 of 45 in the ball game, a little bit better than 50%, but 7 out of 12 from long range, including 5 of the 7 3-pointers hit by senior Cooper McLaughlin. The Eagles go 9 of 13 from the free throw line, but McLaughlin will lead all scorers tonight with 22 points. Mercedes Hess next in line with 18 or perhaps 17. If she had 17, then Lily Wagner had 8 rather than 7, but I had 1 extra free throw than what they had on the scoreboard for Mercedes Hess. But she plays a great ball game as well in her final home game as a Wall Lady Eagle. So 22 for McLaughlin, 18 for Hess. 7 points for Lily Wagner, 7 more for J.C. Williams. Ava Dinger with a couple of threes in the third quarter. And really, if we don't really do big plays of the game anymore, but if we did, those 2 back-to-back 3-pointers by Ava Dinger to help Wall come from behind. And when they were down by 4 at the halftime, they end up leading by 9 at the end of 3. But those 2 3-pointers were a real momentum swing in this basketball game. So Dinger with 6 big points in this game off the bench. And it was Cassidy Sawville or perhaps Megan Patterson with 2 points off the bench as well. 62-46, Wall defeating the Lady Buffalo. Stanley County falls to 2-15 on the season. Eagles improve to 12-5, but breaking a 3-game skid. Wall ends up with a 22-18 rebounding advantage overall, 8-6 on the offensive end. Stanley County unofficially only with 10 turnovers in this game. And I think they'll take that every possible chance they get. Wall with only 8 turnovers, in fact, in this game as well. Lady Buffs dished out 13 assists. Wall with 16. It was a well-played game by both teams, but Wall wins at 62-46. Before we get into the boys' pregame, let's finish off our girls' postgame by announcing our Bauman Lumber Player of the Game. Player of the Game sponsored by Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. And as well as the Lady Buffaloes played, it's hard not to keep this one local. We'll do that, but honorable mention certainly to Cooper McLaughlin and Mercedes Hess with 22 and 18 points respectively, and leading Wall in a good come-from-behind victory here tonight. But let's hear from Bauman Lumber first, and we'll tell you who tonight's Stanley County Lady Buffalo Player of the Game will be.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials at affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
Bauman Lumber, Player of the Game festivities. You can pat the backs of all of the Lady Buffaloes who played tonight. And, no such things as moral victories, but Stanley County, who has had monumental troubles at times this season, turning the basketball over, just not able to hit shots. A lot of things came together tonight. Unfortunately, Wall did figure some things out in that second half, and they end up outscoring the Lady Buffaloes to the tune of 40-20. In the second half. But, Carly Leafgreen, of course, leading the way with 17 points, figuring some things out inside. Lady Buffaloes were able to take care of the basketball. Great game for Taylor Stroop with 9 points. Jada Tibbs played a good defensive basketball game. And again, Stanley County with 7 players in the scoring column tonight. It was a really, really nice team effort. But Leafgreen leading the way with 17 points is going to be our Player of the Game, sponsored by Bauman Lumber. We'll get her a T-shirt noting her accomplishments. And we'll see if Stanley County can keep the momentum going and continue to play well down the stretch. Carly Leafreen, our Bauman Lumber Player of the Game. Lady Buffaloes go to Mobridge Pollock on Thursday. That'll be on Star 99, 99.5 FM up north, or on drgnews.com with the KOLY FM link. And then they've got games left at Chamberlain, which will be on KPLO a week from Tuesday night, and then they'll finish the following Thursday against number 2 ranked Winner, who is still undefeated over the course of the season. So it won't be easy, but that Mobridge Pollock game, the way they played tonight, I think could be a very winnable ball game up north on Thursday night. For the Lady Eagles, who have played their final home game, they've got games at Ulrichs on Tuesday, and then they go to Dupree on Friday. I think there's one more game in there as well, but that's what the Lady Eagles have coming up, and they'll take a 12-5 record into the final week and a half of the basketball season. Final score in the first game from Wagner Auto Company and Pierre, the one place to go, 62-46 Wall with a victory. We'll take a break quickly. Before we do that, we remind you on your way to and from the games or driving anywhere this winter, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you that snow means slow. Please drive for the conditions. A reminder from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. 60-second break. Our boys pregame coming up next. You're listening to Stanley County Basketball on 1060 KGFX and drgnews.com.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Today, the average person spends more time researching their TV purchases than they spend researching their mortgage options. TVs are pretty complex, but have you ever tried to read a mortgage contract? Think about it. Shouldn't we be giving at least as much consideration to a 30-year loan as we do a 50-inch screen? At First Dakota, we believe that the more a home buyer knows, the better the home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. We love answering questions. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
Welcome back to Wall High School, Wall, South Dakota, as we cover Stanley County basketball from Wall, 1060 AM and 107.1 FM KGFX Pierre, Fort Pierre, a member of the Dakota Radio Group, online at drgnews.com. With Primetime Paul back in studio, I'm Brian Oakland, as we are set for game number 2 of our girls and boys doubleheader. Wall wins the girls game 62-46. Upcoming, the 6 and 7 Stanley County Buffaloes will play their first game in 2 full weeks, thanks to a couple of weather routes in the interim, as they take on the 4 and 11 Wall Eagles. But an interesting story in this game is former Stanley County Lady Buffalo head coach Lex Heathershaw heading his hometown Wall Eagle boys program and the entire athletic department as well here in Wall. So good to see the coach once again. For folks listening and watching on our live stream, we are going to cut off of that one, but we will get the boys, the live stream of the boys game restarted. So stay with us on youtube.com, and we'll be back to continue our coverage of Stanley County boys basketball as they take on the Wall Eagles momentarily. Coming up in the pregame, once again, our keys to success as we take a look at how we see this game coming from both head coaches and also starting lineups and more. We'll take a 60-second timeout, and we bring you keys to success next in the boys' half of our Stanley County Wall doubleheader on KGFX.
Being a small farmer has never been tougher. Dan Webmuller is a farmer and an American Family Insurance company.